What's up, guys? This is Tai Zen and Leon Fu, and we're excited to have with us here today Aaron. He is one of the most popular and prolific Nextcoin ambassadors on Bitcoin Talk and on all the Nextcoin forums. Let's talk next about the Next Arbitrary message system. Could you explain the difference between the Next Arbitrary message system versus the Next alias system? They sound similar, but there must be something different about it.
I think the difference is that we're just applying a label to it and a category to it, which gives the devs different ideas about what they might do, right? So in the future, they may, parse out arbitrary messages from 20 years ago, right? Because who needs to be storing, Bob ate a yummy burger today in the year 3300, right? 33. It would just be a huge waste of resources all throughout the rest of history if we were storing arbitrary messages forever. And but you want to store aliases forever, right? So
Okay.
by applying a different label to them, you tell the devs, hey, this one you can get rid of at some point in the future, and this one, no, I want this one to stay forever.
Oh, okay. So basically, it cleans up the blockchain and keeps it lean.
Now, I could be wrong about this.
Okay. So the arbitrary message system, is that similar to email or chat or what?
Yeah, but yes and no, right? Because obviously it's going to be way more expensive than just a chat, right? Because with chat, you send directly to the person you're trying to communicate with. The arbitrary messages, it gets copied and pasted and copied all over the network and propagated to everyone, which is an expensive process, which means that it needs to be something important. It doesn't need to. I mean, you could just pay to tell somebody you're eating a sandwich if you wanted to, but we expect that we're going to have usefulness for something like this, because what we're talking about here is censorship resistance. You're paying for censorship resistance. So it's really useful for things like doing distributed asset exchanges and things like that. Like if you wanted to build a decentralized distributed asset exchange system, or like a market on top of Next where there were no trusted third parties, right? Then you would want the censorship resistance, and you'd want to pay for that.
Okay. That sounds like it'd be good for somebody that's stuck in a country where they have a lot of media control, like in China or in Egypt or any one of these hot spots in the Middle East, so they can basically pay to get their word out.
It also is really useful if you're breaking the law, but in a benign sort of way. A way where if they had an easy method of stopping you, that they would, but if it was going to be costly, they wouldn't, right? So you can imagine something like doing decentralized markets, trading markets with crosses between Bitcoin and Next and other altcoins and things like that, where the government wanted you to comply with their ticket of regulations, right? And they're not going to, like if everyone's doing it, they're not going to come after you. But if you have a centralized institution, yeah, they're going to come after that guy, and which means he's going to have to comply with those regulations. There's going to be costs that are passed on to the users, as we see in sort of like the fees that we see in Knox and things like that.
Okay, so it's not just to give an individual a voice without censorship, but it's also for the financial markets as well.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah. Would you say that it's good also for people like the whistleblowers, like Edward Snowden?
Would be a great way to get to publish documents like that. Yeah.
And then he would not have to, because one of the concerns that Edward Snowden had to release the public the information about the NSA spying on everybody was that he had to spend a lot of time finding the right journalists to make sure they were trustworthy before he could release the information. Are you telling me that with the next arbitrary message system, that if he wanted to release these documents, that he can freely do so without having to go through a third party and be able to release it publicly without censorship?
Well, I mean, he could have done that just with the internet in general if he wanted.
Okay.
He could have dumped all that stuff on it. I don't know why he felt like he needs to go through some journalist or something. I don't know what the story is with him, really. He does.
Okay. Okay. Is there any myths or things that people misunderstand about the Next, the arbitrary message system that we need to be aware about?
Not to my knowledge.
When do you think this will be done? Because this feature isn't.
Arbitrary message is implemented.
It's already implemented, but there's no client for it yet, right? There's no front end.
No, I think someone made a front end for Android. I haven't tried it. I just saw someone posting about it in the threads.
Okay, all right.
You have a lot of articles out on the internet about Next, and then you have a lot of writing out there. Now, does someone have to contact you in order to use those articles, or they are welcome to use your articles and it's okay, and they just need to reference you, or what's the policy on that?
Information is nobody's property.
Okay, so you have no problems with people using your articles on their websites or their blogs or anything like that?
They can do anything other than change it and say that that's what I wrote.
Okay, so as long as they use it in your words,
or change the words and say that they changed the words.
okay, as long as they're clear that they re-edit it and which portions they re-edit it. Okay.
As long as they don't say that I said something that I didn't say. Everything else is fine.
Okay. I would also like to add to anyone watching this that I have included at the bottom of all these videos in this interview with Aaron here, and I'm grateful that he took the time to answer a lot of our questions here. I'm including his next address below. If you guys want to make donations for his efforts directly to him, be aware that the address below, and I will mark it very clearly that they belong to him, so you can donate directly to him, even though the videos are on my blog. And I guess if you have a Bitcoin address, you can include it down there too, and I'll post it down there too. Okay?
Sounds good.
Hey, thanks for that. Okay, Todd.
Right.
Thank you.
All right. Well, thanks for your time today, guys, and I hope that this video was able to help you understand more about Next. And we'll look forward to seeing you guys in the next video. Thanks.